All right, good morning YouTube. How you doing? It's Max. I'm making this video because I have some good news. I maxed my RuneScape account yesterday, so naturally I would just start doing some rune crafting, everyone's favorite skill. But I wanted to make this video just to kind of I guess reflect on the whole maxing journey process. This isn't anything that's scripted. I just wanted to kind of talk candidly and casually about everything. So what I have right now is on this side, I'm just doing some rune crafting. I may just do so. I don't have any like main goals right now, but I'll probably just do something that's maybe AFK on the side, just kind of chilling. Um, I wanted to work on making my own game again, so I'll probably do that process mostly. But I just kind of wanted to make this video just talking about my experiences and if anyone else is out there wanting to max their account, kind of what my process looked like. It's not the best process by any means, but just kind of go through my thoughts. So this is the skills. I have this journal on Notion, how I kind of did it. So, for example, what I would do is every day I would just track what day it was. I would just do at today, what my combat level was at the end of the day, what my total level was, what my total experience was, any noticeable accomplishments I got, and then skills I worked on. Down here I might write some things like what Slayer tasks I did or just any other things that I wanted to track for that day. But I don't think I'm going to continue doing this. I think it was nice because this is July. You've got June, May, April, March, February, January, and I started on December 4th. So from December 4th to July 26th, I did it every single day, and that was kind of cool in its own part. I know there's some websites like Wise Old Man who kind of can track this for you, but I think there's something kind of nice about inputting this information in manually yourself. I think it kind of keeps you focused and motivated on the journey. And you can do things like you can go back to, this is one where I kind of had to guess how much. I was around 82 million experience December 4th, and now I'm at 300. So it wasn't the entire journey from level 1. I started at 1949 total level 105 combat. Um, so, it wasn't like I'd maxed completely in a year, but it was relatively still a long process. So yeah, that's like the main part of the journal, and then kind of what I did down here was I had a kind of checklist, I guess you could call it, of what I wanted to do in what order. And so construction was the first skill. Back in the day, when I was making this in December, I was kind of thinking about what skills made the most sense to me, and I think everyone has their own opinions on this. What I kind of wanted to value it based off of was what, again, this isn't like a science, I don't exactly remember, this is just me reflecting on it, but I wanted to look at the value of certain skill capes, which ones I would use, and construction is, I think, kind of not even really a debate the best skill cape because of its teleports, and I think just having a maxed house is invaluable in this game. It makes most skills go faster. If you have it, you can always teleport to your house, restore all your stats with your rejuvenation pool. You can teleport anywhere with your portals or nexus or jewelry box or amulet of glory, or your, if you want to go to Fossil Island, you can have your Fossil Island thing kind of hung up in your room, your Xerix talisman. Everything is just with your construction cape. So I would find myself, between like whether it's doing farming runs using the house, or doing a Slayer task or bossing and coming back and restoring all my stats, or if I, whatever I was doing, I feel like I would use the construction cape as like a go-to thing. I would never leave the bank without it, kind of. That's how kind of valuable it is. And I know it's like an expensive skill. So the process I was doing to get 99 construction, I probably had like around 100 mil or 200 mil at the start of this journey in December, just from like doing stuff. I feel like most of that was probably like a combination of Slayer up until like level whatever it was, around probably like 80, doing farming runs, doing birdhouse runs, just money makers here and there. Um, I forget exactly. I did a lot of Throne of Miscellanea. That was something I did a lot. I don't know exactly all the money makers I did for the first 100 mil, but I knew I had at least 100 mil, which might have been enough to do construction, but just to make sure I didn't eat too much into my gold supply, what I did around this time was I chopped about 25,000 mahogany logs, and I had 86 magic, I think, at the time. I forget exactly everything, but I plank maked all the mahogany logs into mahogany planks, and you actually make money. So you're going from, I mean, you need a little bit of capital to do the plank make, but not much by comparison. So like if you chop like 25,000 mahogany logs, that's free, and then you're technically making a net positive in the plank make process. So you could plank make extra stuff, make some money, and then you could use the rest of the planks for construction. I forget exactly, but it was something along that. I just remember cutting 25,000 mahogany logs and plank making them. And so I did that, and then I did mahogany homes. So I think I only used like 20,000 mahogany logs or something. So that was construction. Fire making was winter Todd. That was pretty, maybe like a week of winter. Let's actually go through here. So in December, this is when I was doing the construction. So yeah, you can see I have like 80 Slayer. I got 80 Slayer in December. You can see I got a lot of wood cutting levels. That was me wood cutting from, I guess maybe 80, 85, I don't know, 85 wood cutting to, well into the 90s. Like, this is me saying that I made 5,000 mahogany planks. You can see I was doing some magic construction. Some days I do hunter or something, but you can just kind of see the process there of collecting logs, plank making them, and then I just knocked out construction for a week and got 99 construction. Um, some other things here and there. Fire making, I think I started that in January. So yeah, like the first week of January, I got 99 fire making at Winter Todd. That was the second 99. Farming was next. I think I got that like maybe a week later. Yeah, on January 10th. And that was pretty much, just I was doing farming runs all that time. I did do tree runs. I think starting in like November, I had money to do tree runs. But yeah, a lot of just herb runs, I think, for farming. And then hop runs, I feel like hops were kind of underrated. You can make a lot of money. I don't know how it is these days, but I know Yanilian hops were like 1 gold per seed or something, and you could sell the Yanilians for like I, back then. I think you could make like 25K a trip. I don't know exactly, but it was pretty good because the Yanilian whatevers are used to um, protect your mahoganies or teaks or something, one of the hardwood trees on Fossil Island. So I remember doing Yanilian hops. I remember doing pretty much all the like whiteberry bushes. I was doing potato cactus. I was doing herbs. I was doing hispori, all that kind of stuff for farming. Wood cutting. After I got 99 construction and all the logs needed, I think I just camped out at. I got my lumberjack outfit. I think before that, and I just camped out at Redwoods. So that was pretty good. And then rune crafting was the big one. So I got these four like right away, and I was in a mind spot of like, okay, I got construction, that one's quick, fire making's quick, farming I guess takes a while, but it's relatively straightforward. A lot of people had farming and wood cutting, and I was like, I want to kind of do something a bit more, I guess, unique, less common of a 99, something that kind of took a long time, that kind of helped get me into a good mindset. So I chose to do rune crafting for my fifth 99, and that literally took me like all of February. So you can see I started on January 24th, I think, and I was at around 80 rune crafting because I got 81 on the 25th. So I was like 80 rune crafting on the 24th, and we go to February, and it's just all rune crafting up until February 25th. So it was a good 33 days of rune crafting in a row, and it's been so long that I can go back to it, but it was a very long month. I remember of just rune crafting here, and then I also did rune crafting at Areni Altar. So that's the one where um, there's like a lunar spellbook teleport for it, and I feel like it would be cool to like kind of showcase all these different methods. But you can look it up, the Areni Altar. You get like random runes or something, and I think that one was pretty good experience, relatively speaking, like 50, 60,000 or something. Whereas like this is like, I don't know, some people say 40,000. I feel like I was getting 30,000 if I was like lucky, focused. I feel like this place, you tend to AFK sometimes, and I guess miss out on experience per hour. But it's better to do during like work or something. Just something if you're, kind of can AFK something on the side. This method is decent because you don't have to click all the time, whereas Arena Altar you have to click all the time. But yeah, after rune crafting, I was like, I'm just going to kind of reward myself and do a little bit of cooking because that is a quick one. So, 4 days later, I get cooking after rune crafting. Then before you know it, it's March and I'm 2100 total level. So I still have 177 levels to go in March. And that's, still a couple months away, like 4 months away or something, 4 or 5 months from maxing. So those last couple levels, it's just a lot of experience to get, and I only have like 699s at this time. So after crafting, or after cooking, I do crafting because I kind of put my headspace back into the whole construction mindset of I want to get a skill cape that is, I guess, useful. And so the thing is, the farming cape is already kind of the same kind of perks as the crafting cape. It's a little less steps to the bank, but what's kind of nice about the farming guild is that once you're 99 farming, you can do tree runs. I guess you could do this whenever, but the tree runs are really nice because you can just collect coconuts as um, kind of just passive income. And so every time you go to the bank, there's a tree, you can have a coconut tree in the farming guild and just kind of collect the coconuts at the tree every time you bank. So that kind of money like just kind of adds up. So I was talking about crafting, but kind of went to the perks of the farming cape. Crafting cape is just kind of like if you don't really care about money anymore, I guess you just care about whatever you're doing, whatever repetitive task going to the bank, then yeah, you could just use the crafting cape. But that's an alternative for the crafting cape was the farming cape. But so yeah, crafting that was just air battle staves. You can do a passive where you buy air battle or the battle staves from that guy Zaf, I think, in Varrock at a discount. So that's kind of nice, but definitely not enough to supplement your entire 99 journey unless you're playing for years. Doing that every single day. So I was just buying battle staffs mostly, buying the air orbs, and I feel like I didn't lose that much money doing that. I don't know what the prices are like then or now, but I remember it didn't really seem to eat into my income too much. A lot of these didn't really seem to eat into my income for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I thought I was gonna have to spend a lot more money on some of these skills. I remember when this was like maybe like, you know, tens of millions of gold that you'd be losing. But maybe that's like Black Dragon Hide or something. I don't know. I just did air battle staves. Hunter, I did herbivore. So this was before Hunting Rumors came out. I think like right before Hunting Rumors came out. I did herbivore, and I liked herbivore. It's kind of like training agility in a way, but you're getting herbs. So I just got an herb sack and just kind of some stamina potions. Just run around, collect the herbs from the herbivore guy, and I think I might have done like 5,000 herbivore runs or something. So it wasn't like quick, but it wasn't slow. I think this is kind of just like an average paced one. And I think I made like 20 or 30 mil in herbs or something. I don't know. And I just used that for herb lore. Um, Smithing, I did adamant plate bodies. It was really quick. Just you see like 4 days after, Hunter, I just knocked out smithing. It was a very quick one, kind of like cooking in a way. Adamant plate bodies. There's other methods like Giant's Foundry. I've never done Giant's Foundry. I don't like doing Blast Furnace. I just, when I did 99 smithing in RuneScape, what is now RuneScape 3, I did adamant plate bodies, so I just did the same thing. And then we've got magic, and this is when I was kind of like, do I want to get it now or do I want to wait until I do combat? And I was like 90, like 96 to 98 magic for the longest time. I don't even know if I can, yeah, I got 97 magic on the 16th of February, and I got 99 magic in, I guess, March, so a month. But it was one of those ones that I got really high because of, we did this construction method of plank make, and I got it pretty high, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to knock this one out because, the end of March, and I kind of want to get another 99 before the end of March so I could have four 99s in March, and I thought that would be pretty cool, so I was like, I'll just knock out magic. There is kind of the whole thing of, do you want to save magic for when you're doing Slayer? And I went so over on my magic for Slayer that I don't know. It is what it is. It just gives you ranks once you're max. So in terms of like aligning everything up to the minimum amount of experience over, so you can be the most efficient. I guess it's something in your mind, but it wasn't something that I was really actively trying to pursue. So I was like, I'll just get 99 magic. Thieving was surprisingly a skill that I hated doing. More so than like rune crafting or agility. It's really quick, but it's just so like with the other ones, I feel like I didn't really ever have the feeling of like I really want to take a break. With thieving, is like I want to stop doing this as soon as possible, and that might be because I was doing pyramid plunder. It's similar to smithing. I did pyramid plunder on the other account to 99 in what is now RuneScape 3, but at the time RuneScape 2. Um, I've never really done RD Knights. I haven't done blackjacking. I think that just sitting there and clicking the same thing over again. I know some people have said they use foot pedals, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into that. It's not really like something that I think I need to buy a foot pedal to get 99 thieving. I'll just go knock out Pyramid Plunder in like a week or something, couple weeks. But it's not that I don't hate Pyramid Plunder. I actually really like the concept of the minigame. It's just something where, um, the snake's always poisoning you, and it's just kind of like annoying, but it's something that's kind of more engaging to me than RD Knights. But I think Pyramid Plunder is like a love-hate minigame where I have a lot of sentimental attachment to it for, getting 99 there twice, but it's something that in the moment you're just like, I just want to be done with this. So yeah, thieving was pyramid plunder, fishing was barbarian fishing, and barbarian fishing was, I did the barbarian fishing spot over at Chambers of Zarek, which I feel like not that many people know about. Most people go to the one Otto's Grotto near Waterfall Quest, but I think that the fishing spot near Chambers of Zarek, the barbarian fishing there, is a lot better. It's right next to a bank. So I didn't really bank anything. I just dropped stuff, but I just like being near a bank. There was only like three other people there max, whereas at Otto's Grotto, I feel like there's a lot more people, and the fishing spots change a lot more. So I feel like the Chambers of Zarek spot, I think it's called like Mount Quado something, Mount something something, starts with a Q, and I think that yeah, it's just overall more AFK, less people. Then I did agility, and agility, May was a busy year, it looks like. Agility was, it wasn't even really that bad, I feel. Like, it took, a little bit of time, but I think by the time you've done all this stuff, you're just so used to it. It was just mostly just running laps at the rooftops. I didn't do any sepulcher. I tried doing sepulcher. I didn't do any bossing really up until this, so like my mechanics in the game were not like very good. They're still not very like good, I would say. But just rooftops, and I collected all the marks of grace, and I used them all for herb lore. I know some people like to get the collection log slots and get all the graceful sets. I didn't really care about like the fashion scape of it. I think if I were to get a graceful set, I would just learn Sepulcher and wear that one. I didn't need all the like the different colors of the graceful, so I was like, I'll just save some. I think it was like 1,000,000 herblore experience to bank, so I was like, I'll just save money and do that because I only really care about maxing. I don't really care about collection logs, so I got 99 agility and then 99 herb lord using the marks of grace. And there was kind of like a thought process to this. So like I was like, I want to get the marks of like I went in going into it. I didn't want to do herb lore until I did agility because I was like, I'm just gonna collect all the marks of grace from that. And I was like, well, I don't want to do agility until I do fishing because fishing's gonna give me a good amount of agility experience with barbarian fishing. And also same with like hunter. I was like, I'm gonna get all these herbs from hunter, so I'll just do hunter before herb lore. So there was kind of like a process to it. If I scroll down here, you can kind of see that I have like different phases. So I had like a different phase and like a description of when to get it. So these were all phase 1, and then I had phase 2 skills. Phase 3 were all the combats. So there was kind of like a structured order to it all. But herb lore was after agility and just using the marks of grace for the amylase crystals for stamina potions, and then after I ran out of those, I did super restores, I think. But I also did like a couple thousand of every potion, just because I had all the herbs from herbivore and just over the course of the journey, I wanted to save up the potions for combat so I didn't have to buy all the prayer potions and stuff. I still had to buy some prayer potions because I ran out because you use a ton of prayer potions in Slayer. But I still have quite a bit left over of all those potions. So I sold some just to kind of pay for some of the costs, but I kept a lot of the potions. Then I did prayer. I did prayer mostly at the new method in Varlamore, which was like the bone method, which was super quick. And I think it's more affordable than using like Gilded Altar. I don't think it's as good as like the Wilderness one, but I don't like going in the Wilderness, so I just did the new Varlamore method, and I recommend it. It's kind of like tedious to like break down all the bones at the beginning, but once you kind of get into the actual part of like teleporting there and like using the wines and all that stuff. Also, I don't know if the price has changed, but I use the Sunfire wines, which give extra experience. You got to pay a little bit more for the Sunfire shards, but I think that I was doing some calculations at the time, and I think that I was actually saving money, spending money on the shards because I would have to use less bones in the long run. So check the math, I guess, on your end before you do that. But I think that that was something that I thought was really good. And I was getting like a mil per hour experience. Like it was quick once you start actually blessing the stuff. And I was just using like dragon bones and whatnot. but I wanted to get 99 prayer before doing Slayer. I know some people use like the Bone Crusher and stuff like that. I did not do that. I just, oops, I think I need to activate one of these. Yeah. I didn't use the Bone Crusher or the Ash Sanctifier or anything like that. I just kind of grinded it all out. I had like money to do it from rune crafting and stuff, so I was like, I'll just, knock out prayer. And that's another good reason to do rune crafting early is you get like hundreds of millions from it. So that helped pay for a lot of these buyable ones. It's one of those things where like crafting and smithing, I feel like you don't lose that much money from it, but you need a lot of like capital, just like money to spend on supplies because the supplies are expensive, but then you sell them back and you like, I wouldn't say you like break even, but you don't lose that much money. It's just you need a lot of upfront money to buy a lot of the stuff. Prayer, you do lose a lot of money. But yeah, other than that, fletching pretty self-explanatory. Some people do the darts or whatever. I just did bows because I AFK a lot in this game, and so I'll be like watching a movie or doing something all day, and I'll just be fletching at the bank rather than multitasking. While I'm on the computer for a lot of these videos, when I actually play the game, a lot of the time, most of the time I was doing this was probably on mobile. So yeah, you can max on mobile, which I think is like I probably wouldn't be a maxed account if there was no mobile in this game. Anyways, 2200 total level came after that in May, and that was like 77 levels to go, and that still took like 2 months. And I got actually 99 fletching was when I got 2200 total level. I think I also got 85 Slayer that day. So then I got base 85 stats. Mining was my last skill before the combats, and I just kind of did Motherlode Mine. I did try that new mine in Marlamore where you get the bone shards, but the amount of bone shards you get at that place is not very much. It's good for the mining experience, but I just decided that Motherlode Mine gave me Runite ore, and with that I could just buy Dragon Bones by selling the Runite ore, which I think gave me more bang for my buck. So I just stuck to Motherlode Mine. I also tried the whatchamacallit place at the mining guild, the Amethyst mines. That was really slow, so I only did that for like 1 day. Most of the time was Motherlode Mine though, and it was nice because I think it was around this time. Like I think it was like literally 98 mining or something, and they came out with the upper tier level, and that is really nice. So it made that place a lot better. I didn't try any of those other methods like blast mine or volcanic mine, just Motherlode Mine really. Ended up getting base 90 stats. I think like the combat ones from here it's just combat. So yeah, I think June is when I started my Slayer grind, and the Slayer grind was like 2 months. Um, Technically started here, but I didn't really start until June 5th when I was done with all the skills. So it was pretty much just all Slayer throughout June up through July up until yesterday. Um, or actually, I got 99 Slayer on the 21st, but maxed yesterday, so about a week ago. Um, that's was all just Slayer. Slayer, I think, is a skill that I think so I have mixed feelings about Slayer. Slayer is probably my least favorite skill, but it's probably one that I would still do post 99 because there's a lot of content with Slayer. And I think that's kind of how I feel about it is that Slayer has a lot of content, but I don't think that I would call it a skill. The game's been out for so long, I don't really know how they would change it. I do have some ideas, but I think that's like a whole nother like kind of topic. But I think Slayer is one that it's either people do it at the end or people do it first kind of thing. And I see a lot of like I think I was like ranked like 150,000 when I got 99 Slayer, so like a lot of people have it. And there's a whole kind of like community of people who enjoy, I guess many communities of people within this game who enjoy PVM content. But yeah, I don't know. Slayer is just one of those ones that felt really good to be over, and I uploaded that video last week about me doing Jad, and it couldn't really speak in that video because I was just so happy to be done with that skill. But I think that it's more of like an activity. I don't really think it's like a skill. I think that there's a better way to design that kind of skill, and in the game that I want to make after all of this is over, I want to kind of have something that's like Slayer because I like the concept of it, but I like it more as like you're building some sort of like rapport system. Like there's a variable that tracks like a rapport or something rather than like a skill. I think that grinding to 99 Slayer is just way too slow, and it makes me want. So like this is another whole thing. This whole combat section. Um, I've heard a lot of people say that you should just save your strength, your melee, your combat skills for when you're doing Slayer. Whenever I was doing Slayer, I never wanted to do any melee at all. So I mostly did Nightmare Zone for 99 strength, defense, and attack. Every time I got a Slayer task, I either wanted to use the Venator bow, which was ranged, the cannon, which was ranged, or barrage, which was magic. So I feel like if I were to do this all over again for 99 Slayer, I would just rush my melees at Nightmare Zone. And the reason why I think I would rush my melees to 99 at Nightmare Zone is because every day you can go back to Nightmare Zone and get an herb, like those herb baskets, and you get quite a lot of money. So if you do that first, you would probably have like 12 million points because I think I have like 12 million points and I didn't even do Nightmare Zone the entire way. But you'd have like tens of millions of points that you can just use every single day on herbs and make a ton of money doing that to, fund other things or do herb lore. So I think I would definitely do like attack, defense, strength. Plus, if you want to do any bossing, you can, I guess, with melee bosses. Or like, it makes questing easier because you have higher combat level. So I think that if I were to do all this over again, I feel like I'm jumping around a lot, but I would probably do the quest cape first. That's what I did. I'd get the quest cape first, then I would still probably do like construction first. I might do my melee combats earlier. Um, Slayer is one of those ones where I don't know where really think makes the most sense to do it because this is how I also feel about Slayer. I feel like Slayer requires a lot of money investment. You do make a lot of money, but you all constantly are like, I want this gear upgrade. And I feel like when you get into this mindset, it kind of makes all these other skills less of like a priority. If that makes sense, like one of the reasons I wanted to do combat last is because everyone likes combat, and I felt like I'm someone who likes to save like the best stuff for last. Even though I hate Slayer, it's like the most like engaging activity, and it makes you want to like get upgrades. All these skills you don't really need upgrades. Like you might need like a fishing outfit or like the harpoon or something, but that's like not that expensive. And then a lot of these viables might require a lot of capital, but you're not like constantly tempted by upgrades. Here it's like, oh, I want to get an Avernic Defender. That's like 50 plus mil. Oh, I want to get a Garazi Rapier. That's 50 plus mil. I want to get a Venator Bow. That's, 70 mil. There's a lot of things that are like tempting your spending of money, and you might get some drops here and there. Like I did get my fair share of drops, but like it's not like it's one of those skills that I guess tempts you to spend a lot of money. You're spending a lot of money on cannonballs. I spent like I don't know. I bought like 200,000 cannonballs. You're buying like blood runes for barraging. You're buying Venator bow charges. You're buying the scales for your blowpipe slash surfaceage if you use that. There's so much like I guess upkeep costs, prayer potions, all that stuff. Ooh, I got a lamp. I don't know what I would even use this for. I guess we'll just use it for rune crafting. Um, but yeah, there's just so much upkeep cost with Slayer that it's kind of like I think that's what I don't like about it. Like all these skills, I can just kind of like AFK and I can just kind of like not pay attention. Even like something like agility, I don't have to pay attention. Once I get into the rhythm of rune crafting, I don't have to pay attention. But with Slayer, it's like I can do this for like maybe 10 minutes to like an hour, but I always have to go back to the bank and like, resupply, or I gotta like every time I'm done with a task, I gotta switch my combat gear, or I gotta recharge my like upkeep my the cost of my stuff. It's really hard to just kind of like AFK this on the side. It requires a lot more attention. And then certain tasks you like one of the things is like I would always get like a neck reels task. And neck reels are great experience per hour because you can just barrage them. But Slayer's the only skill I think left in this game where, and, there might be some other things with combat, but the world hopping with Slayer is also like a big pain to me because like you'll be doing like neck reels and I'll be like doing Slayer on the phone and it's like, well, I could try to do barraging on my phone, but just how you kind of have to group up all of the neck reels and all that stuff. It's just kind of a pain to do that. And when you go bank for neck reels, you got to be like super quick, like tick perfect quick, because like there's always people world hopping and they're gonna like just steal your spot if you go bank. So it's like, do I want to drop all my stuff and just stay here and get the task done, or do I want to go bank, risk losing my spot, and then have to world hop for a couple minutes? And it's not really like it's not the end of the world because it only takes like a couple minutes to like find your spot, but it's just like how inconvenient it is a lot of the time, if you know what I mean. So it would be kind of like this thing where it's like, ooh, neck reels, that's a lot of experience, but I'm gonna have to like get on my computer. I'm gonna have to, fight for worlds and all this stuff. So I think like that's some of the things I dislike the most about Slayer. It's just how inconvenient it is to do, but it's done, and that's all that matters. And I may still come back to it and do it. I don't know. But for now, I think just AFKing, doing some chill stuff on the side is kind of where I'm at. I think I went through everything for the most part. Ranged, I don't know if I specified, but pretty much just Slayer for ranged, the Venator bow, and the cannon. Magic, I already got, but you get a lot from barraging with Slayer. Slayer, mostly ranged and magic. And then the melees, I did do some Slayer, but I really felt like it was inefficient to do melees with Slayer these days with all the ranged and magic options. Just do Nightmare Zone and do it early so you can do content and get herb boxes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my maxing journey. This is a almost 40-minute video. Feels really good to be done with it. It like I probably said in an earlier video, this is like I guess something that I have always wanted to do. It's something that, like 20 years ago, I remember in like 2005 or whenever it was I started playing. It's something where it's like, wow, I can't imagine ever maxing, getting a 99 in this game because it's so like long, let alone maxing. And I think that it's something that kind of just like it makes me feel like I could do whatever if I set my mind to it in a way. Like making a video game. I always started making video games, but then I would never like finish them because I was like, I feel like the scope always got too big with a video game, but I feel like this like maxing in this game really helps me like put things in perspective. Like rune crafting took like a month. So if I want to develop a combat system, I have the context of just being like, let me dedicate like as much time as I would dedicate to rune crafting. And like by that much time, if I go in with that expectation, I can kind of, it teaches you a lot about setting goals and like patience and discipline and building habits and systems and stuff like that, which I think are just very useful skills that transfer to a lot of other things. Yeah, if you're thinking about maxing, it is a grind. It is a time investment. I do think that it does make you a more patient person with things. I think that there are a lot of good transferable skills that come from maxing your account. I think it's a really nice badge of honor to have, even though a lot of people may not know what maxing an account is or what it takes or what RuneScape is. I think that feeling like you're, um, in the top echelon percentage of account ranks in a community is something that feels good, and it feels deserved when you get it. It's not something that you got by luck. It's something that you got by grit and, you know, perseverance. But yeah, good luck if you're maxing right now. Um, Feel free to let me know in the comments if you're maxing. I don't know how many people watch this, but feel free to let me know what your comments are. If you have maxed, anything that you want to share about your maxing journey, that would be cool to hear, just see different perspectives. I know when I was maxing, I really enjoyed kind of just these kinds of videos, just something that I could listen to while I'm AFKing, that kind of gives some motivation. And, I hope that this can be motivating to someone if, they want to max or something. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. Best of luck, and I'll catch you when I catch you.